Before I say anything, I want to acknowledge and call upon and ask my beautiful sister that I get to speak with, stand beside with, do lots of cool things with. She's a lady. She's a lady of the land. Please give it up for our Coast Salish opener, welcomer, Audrey Siegl!
So, let me first say, Septa. Septa for being here, Septa for caring, Septa for turning up, Septa for doing more than liking and sharing and commenting. Because those are important, they're not going to save the peace. Misa Patwilam Atanash with Mathwima Hamo Tanawel. I Quinishwallow at Swinzy Quitsnala. Clem Tanakonasui, Kanitsan, Humathwiam, Amahai Fleetden, Eatsui in August, Tennessee left. This is the downriver dialect that my Musqueam people speak. It's called Hunkamino. We've spoken it since the first sunrise, and we will continue to speak it forever. In a nutshell, it means welcome. In a nutshell, it means recognize whose land you're on. In a nutshell, it means follow the questions of protocol. Who are you? Where do you come from? If granted the permission to stay, how will this land and people benefit from your time here? Wherever I travel, these are the new questions I ask myself before I step foot on someone else's land, because that land is sacred. So, I wrote something. I don't know if it's poetry, but I'm going to read it. It's called RE:NDN, about the Indians. So, I'm going to cue you, and when I do, you say re. It's only going to be a few times because there's only a few minutes and we can keep this going. So, let's do a trial run.
Re.
All right, okay.
Re.
Exist.
Re.
Indigenize.
Re.
Claim.
Re.
Learn.
Re.
Member.
Re.
That's it. Ancestors, each of us, not just me standing on my ancestors' land right now, but you are your ancestors. Make sure that the work you do honors them and recognizes them. Make sure that it honors and recognizes the ancestors of whoever's land you're on. And with that, I'm going to leave the rest of the talking to the people here who are so good at it. I'm going to sing a song for my good friend, Carrie, and for all the women who have loved me and supported me and who show me what strength looks like despite the fact that we're not even supposed to exist. Please clap if you know it's in. I just threw myself there. The Strong Woman song. And you can remember how it starts. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Hooks, Huts, Oaks, and Hulk, Onondaga, Wolf Clan, JB First Lady, Brackatero, Jared Webster. I said hello, friends and family, in my new Hulkin language that I'm actually learning from firstvoices.com. Awesome site. Anyway, I said hello, friends and family. I come from the New Hulkin Nation, and I come from the Onondaga Nation, and I'm Wolf Clan. And the names I carry, my hip-hop name is JB the First Lady. My traditional name is Etzolk. Can you say Etzolk? Etzolk means South Bentic. That's where my dad's family, the Snokeltua family, that's where we resided in before colonization. That's where our village was. Standing beside me is my son. His name is Sequoia Samuel Devin Snokeltua, and he's the first to be registered with that name. So please give it up for that. That's so cool. And his traditional name is Yaya Twiliks, which means happy people, happy-go-lucky. So I'm really happy I'm having him stand beside me tonight. I'm going to be your MC for the night! And you're here for Poets for Peace, and this is a fundraiser for Stop Site C Dam, right? Yeah, we're here to stop that. So if you see to your right, which is my left, there's a silent auction from amazing different artists who have donated. Please check it out. Come out and bid. Also, there's another table over here. Please wave your hands in the air like you just don't care. There's another table of silent auction items, so please look at those. I saw some t-shirts, I saw paintings, I saw books. So please deck yourself out and donate and get some awesome art. So I'm going to check out and see what artists have donated, so I'll let you know that a little bit later. And shout outs to Audrey for opening and doing it in a good way here today, so please give it up again for Audrey. So we have speakers, we have performers, and we have poets, and they're all coming together today, and we are going to have a good time. Who's ready to have a good time today? You said me. You said me? Oh, yay. Okay. Would you like to say hello to everyone?
Hello. Brothers and sisters. It is our job. It is our right to protect the land, the water, pipeline, solar management.
That's my boy. That's my boy. So he's gonna help me introduce some people too along tonight. So we're gonna co-host. Me and my son are gonna co-host, and that's what it's all about. We want to showcase balance, and we want to showcase good relations and families. So, because that's what's going to help us stop Site C Dam for real, you know? Right? It's good relations and balance and family and people power. So when I say people, you say power. People power. People power. Yeah, you guys are ready. All right. So, I'm going to call to stage a speaker. She's been traveling across Indian country in BC here, and which we need to change. British Columbia, we need to change that name. Change the name! Okay, that's what Lawrence Paul said. Uquailton, the artist. So, anyways, I'm going off here, so I need to focus up here. I'm the MC, I'm hosting, I'm holding space. Alright, so she's been traveling, and she's been a woman warrior at the front lines at Site C Dam, and so she's been working for the people. So please give it up for Yvonne Tupper. She's going to come and speak.
Hansei Johanneshe. Thank you for having this amazing event. I can't tell you how much this really warms my heart. Our valley, where they're projecting and starting this destruction on our massive traditional territory, the largest infrastructure dam in all of BC and actually it's all of Canada. The effects of this dam, not only for my territory, land and air, for our people, it's also endangered species. There's a whole whack of fishes, ungulate animals. Mine is saving moose meat. We all say moose meat forever. Moose meat forever! Moose meat forever! Moose meat forever! So what I learned about this place, and it's a beautiful place. I've been here for most of the day. It's been very busy. But at the entrance on the bottom there, what did you guys see? You saw a painting of a black moose. I was so touched. I was like, oh, moose! And I went further down the street because I was born in Vancouver, and my first school was Britannia School down the road. And I did a live video saying how could they close down this beautiful school. And on their walkways, where many of you that live here know, they have drawings on a walkway. And what did I see? I saw a pink moose head. Moose meat forever! Moose meat forever! Woo! So many of us, there's a name that I dare not say, but she walks around with labels for pipelines and LNG, and right now it's for BC Hydro too as well. She's sponsored. So I'm sponsored. All of the artisans that donated to this wonderful cause for Treaty 8 Justice Caravan, for the Peace Caravan Fest, which is leaving next Sunday to Montreal. I like to give my hands up for you guys for donating to our cause and producing wonderful work too as well throughout this whole process. We still got a long ways to go, and I believe we can do it. So many of you may have known or heard about the Treaty 8 Justice Caravan. We're leaving next Sunday. We're asking for donations, hence the donations at the door. And so here's some of my sponsors. Miss Claire had made a mother and child cards, which is, oh, by the way, I am not alone here from Treaty. I have my friend here, Pauline. Pauline, can you put up your hand? We're from the Solar First Nations from the Treaty 8 territory, and my niece is sitting there too as well, Courtney Hunt. She's here too as well. I got to tell you, the last time I driven to Vancouver, I was by myself. I was going for the injunctions hearing in late February, and that was a tough time to drive 1,200 kilometers by yourself and then return back home. And especially when most of us knew that 99% of injunction hearings don't go in our favor. And another thing we got to change, because we're not the trespassers. We're Treaty 8 members, and we were here first. And it's laws that beyond us that are controlling what goes out to the public and stuff. And if it was in our Aboriginal courts, this Site C would never make it to the dockets. So here's some of my sponsors. Miss Claire had made cards, which is sitting in front of Courtney there. It's called Mother and Child. This beautiful artist from our region, her name is Penny Borden. She made adult coloring books. And right on the front it says Site C is not a done deal. All profits from the sales books is donated to the Join the Circle Westmoreland and Crawford River First Nations Legal Fund for the Courtney staff. But she's also donating this for a caravan. So inside you'll see what I mentioned, the endangered birds, and give a little insert about what birds are being destroyed in their homes that they've been doing for centuries and without even thinking. Another gentleman, a person, he's a photographer, very, sorry for the names, Biggington, and this is Sydney, Hilltown territory. And I also bought down some bracelets. And of course, food right from the Peace River Valley. Right up in front is our bidding sales. We have carrots, beans, onions, anything that West and Best Gate West, Mike and Best Gate West, we shoved in a box and said, bring it, I'll take it. So please feel that's fine. But furthermore, I'm also sponsored from a lady that lives at West Mobley. She made this beautiful watch. My mother, myself, I made this pouch for myself. An elder from Blueberry River First Nations gave me this. And of course, Paddle for the Peace, which is our annual event. It was our 11th annual this year. And of course, the 62nd, which you can find in the front table if you don't have one. And Spirit of the Peace earrings. We have our powwow. It's the last. If you may not know about Peace River, it's only 2 rivers in the north. I'm so nervous, guys. That flows north. It's so unique and it's so fast. We call it the Mighty Peace River. And we'll never have a river like that again because already there's 2 existing dams that's already stopping the flow of the river, and this 3rd dam will cause more detrimental effects. Hence why we want to stop it. And plus to the cumulative effects that you may already heard of, the oil, mining, forestry, that we can't practice our traditional ways. We have to go 100 kilometers just to hunt our moose. And moose has been part of our diets for, as someone said, as the sun rises. And that's not fair. That's not fair. That's part of our livelihoods. And that's our treaty right negotiation that was from, I think it was 1911. I wanted to also talk about the Amnesty International. I brought their postcards. The anniversary that we're going to go join with Amnesty International in Ottawa on September 14th. I'm going to take those signed petitions with me when we're going to Ottawa. So take action, sign. There's another petition I see on the desk as well. We have an online petition. It's called E34. So for those who already signed it, thank you. We need more signatures of that. That's our federal e-petition. So those are 3 ways to take action too as well, and also supporting the auctions. So thank you so much. I cannot believe the overwhelming support from my birth town, Vancouver. It's so amazing, and many thanks from our coordinator for the treaty, Jessica, for doing this. One of our kickoffs was the hunger strike. And I was here on February 29th when the decision was made. I was walking down the street with a kind young gentleman that says, Yvonne, I think we're going to start a hunger strike. And walking down the streets of Vancouver, as you all know, it's pretty busy. And I said, Tomo, I think you dealt my heart, buddy. I said, if you're going to do it, do it. And here it led to this beautiful little lady who's in the crowd. Her name is Kristin Henry. She did it for 21 days. 20 days of no eating food and straight broth and water for our Sally. I had the pleasure of meeting her at Paddle for the Peace this year in June. And she's up next. And I'm also open for questions. I'll be around. Please feel free to come. I would like to meet every single one of you so I can go back to my territory. Oh, by the way, I was one of the Rocky Mountain Fort campers. I did the term of minus 25 weather. I was kind of funny today when I was here in Vancouver. Someone said, oh, it's cold today. I said, really? When I camped, it was minus 25 weather with a wind chill. We kept our sacred fire burning for 62 days. We stopped construction of Site C Dam. I was one of the named in the junction. There were 6 of us. But we had many campers. We had over 63 campers, First Nations, landowners, and farmers, because it's not just our issue, it's everybody's issue. Because if we don't stop this dam, we'll be like Muskrat Falls in Ontario, where the rural people are paying $500 to $1,000 more on their hydro bills. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not prepared to pay that much for hydro. My elder chief, former Chief Jack Davis, had said in the 60s when he stopped the first time the Site C Dam that what the BC Hydro officials said, they said to him, you better agree or else you won't have no hydro. And he said, we won't starve with no lights on. Because they didn't have no lights in the 60s. They were using coal lights and oil lights. We don't need hydro. There's other initiatives in 2016 that we can use. Solar power, geothermal, windmills, hydro dams is a thing of the past. Actually, that's 19th century thinking. This is 21st thinking. So thank you for those who do the research, that read our posts and like, oh, sorry, Audrey, because it's hard for us as a small communities, especially where we're from, way up north, being isolated, to share our stories. So thank you for giving us a voice down here. And again, that came from the hunger strike happened. Everybody involved in that hunger strike, donations, supporting. Thank you so much. I'd like to introduce you guys to this beautiful young lady. She melted my heart. I sent her a prayer, and it was wonderful. And my prayer was to meet her, and she came up for the powder for the piece, and she thought she could just hug me. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Miss Kristin Henry.
Hello everyone. Really an honor to be up here on stage with all the other amazing speakers and performers that are going to be up here tonight. So thank you so much for being here and for letting me be a part of this. Thank you, organizers. Once again, I'd like to thank Audrey for the wonderful welcome and acknowledge that this event is taking place on unceded Coast Salish territory. So thank Audrey for welcoming us all here. So when I was doing the strike, we did a 20-day hunger strike, and also importantly, we occupied the front lawn at BC Hydro downtown for over 2 months. A lot of the people who made that happen are here today, including my cousin Morag and Sazanoa there, and some other amazing local activists. So a quick round of applause for them, because I couldn't have done it. And they are still going. They are still doing grassroots activism around the city called Fight C. So Morag, the beautiful woman in the pink dress just outside the door, if you're interested in doing some grassroots stuff to stop the dam here in Vancouver, please get in touch with her. So I'm not a poet, and I'm not a great public speaker. I'm just going to take a few minutes to talk about the strike and a recent visit to the Peace Valley. So when I was doing the strike, the biggest question I got from people was, why? Why a hunger strike? And I didn't really have a lot of energy to find the words for that then, but I've come to find them now, and it's really because I was desperate, extremely, extremely desperate to communicate how urgent this issue is, how serious this project is, and how seriously endangered we all truly are with what we're facing with climate change and pollution. Like, I really am quite scared, and it was desperation that drove me to this strike. I've been opposed to Site C Dam for quite a long time, because that valley, I've been there and it's magical, but it's interconnected to so many issues: climate change, energy, water sovereignty, food security, Indigenous sovereignty. It just all, I feel like the Site C Dam is this focal point where we need to say no to all of these issues and talk about how we can do something different with what we want to do here. And I'd always hoped to visit the Rocky Mountain Fort. I did my best to make it there. I was actually at the Stoughton camp on my way there when it was dismantled. And it was really in response to the injustice of that fort being dismantled that I did the strike as well. Something had to happen. I mean, I don't know about everyone, but I certainly felt this kind of air of defeat. It was like, how could they have done that, really? And I didn't know what else to do, and I heard about Tamo and them doing the hunger strike in Vancouver, and I was like, I can do that. I really can do that. So I came down and did it. And I was really sad I never got to visit the Rocky Mountain Fort, but I've been to Peace Valley now and saw where it was, and it meant a lot. So the strike, it was wonderfully, just an epic experience. I kind of just went for it, and I didn't really know what was going to happen, and I kind of woke up every day there not knowing if anyone would show up or who would show up. And every day I was just so amazed to see how more and more people from further and further away came in support of the strike. And it was really, really beautiful. I met so many wonderful people. yeah, it was an amazing experience, and I'm grateful that I was able to do it. And the funny thing is, actually, before the strike, I'd never been to the Peace River Valley. But like I said, Site C is connected to so many different issues. But obviously, after the strike, I was invited to the Paddle for the Peace, and I had to go. And that valley, I spent a couple weeks after the paddle getting to know the valley and the people who live there. And it's truly a magical place. Some of the experiences I had there, just, you know, the amazing open sky there, the valley, the river, the wildlife. I can't really put into words some of those experiences, so I really recommend you all go. Now is certainly the time, and I think it's going to be an important couple months for everyone to try and get up there and to keep your ears open for things going on up there, for sure. The valley, yeah, and I spent a couple weeks going around to different farms, and I spent a couple weeks on the Burley's farm. I met St. Burley during the strike, and I'm forever grateful to him for doing a 5-day solidarity strike with me. That was, it kept me going, for sure. So I spent a couple weeks on his farm. He's got an organic little market garden, and to get my hands in that soil and to eat the food that I was helping growing after having starved for 20 days to protect that valley, there was just something so full circle and profound about it. And you know, the food from that valley, it's the best food I've ever tasted. And I went to hit Peace Produce as well, Bess and Mike's farm, and just amazing what the valley can produce. It was so eye-opening to see how much abundance this valley has to offer, and not just in food, but in wildlife and biodiversity and forests and all these things we need to fight climate change and the other threats we're facing. And the Boons too. I went to the Boons place, and I always talk about how amazing the peas from their garden were. Like, their garden is amazing. They had a rhubarb the size of my car. It's just amazing, like what the valley can produce. It's so eye-opening, and being there, like we have to save it. It's just amazing. And the peas I ate are the best peas of my life. And their garden and their home would be demolished on Christmas Day this year. Yeah, the peas had to be done on purpose. They're sort of expropriating them on Christmas Day. And just meeting them, they're just such wonderfully kind people in the garden, those peas, seriously. So my trip to the valley, it was really healing. I was in a pretty dark place after the strike, and being there and seeing the magic of the valley and tasting the food that it produces, it was just so healing and affirming. And to meet all the amazing people who had supported the strike and the peace camp from afar, like Yvonne, Verena Hoffman, all the amazing warriors who started the Rocky Mountain Fort. It just, yeah, it healed me, and that valley is a healing place, and we have to protect it. We will protect it. We're doing it. And then I came back down, and I had a kind of an interesting day earlier this week where I was driving through so-called Delta, and I was kind of just looking around, and it's late August, and it's hot, and you know, it's generally, you know, pretty dry and brown this time of year. But looking around at the trees right now, there's something different about them, and I realized they just look tired. There's this new tiredness to them that had me feeling really sad for them and really just kind of stressed about the world. You know, every year we cut down more trees, it puts more burden on the trees that remain to give us the oxygen we breathe, and I think they're starting to feel that. And also going through so-called Delta, you see a lot of predator birds, hawks and stuff. And I remember I saw a hawk, and at first I was like, wow, what a beautiful hawk, that's amazing. Then I saw 3 or 4 more sitting on lampposts on the side of the highway, and then I realized that they too looked very, very tired and hungry. And I realized they were up there hunting, looking for food in this demolished valley that used to be their hunting ground. And it's been lost to industry and commercial development. And it kind of all just came full circle, you know, seeing these hawks in this beautiful valley that used to feed them, and that it's now gone, and they are now tired and hungry, and how that will, you know, if the dam goes through, how it's just kind of a mirror of what we'll see with the Peace Valley and the people who rely on it, and the animals who rely on it, everything, you know, from the ants to the bees that need that valley to survive, and that in turn we need to survive. And you know, I was feeling pretty down after that. I was feeling pretty shitty. You know, it was one of those days where just the weight of the world felt like it was on your shoulders, and you don't really know what to do. And it's hard to look at the destruction that's already happened. But then I was thinking about the beautiful Peace Valley and how healing it is. And I thought of my friend Sage, and I gave him a call because I just needed to hear a friendly voice. And he picked up the phone, and he sounded so happy and so optimistic. And I just said, Sage, like, what's going on? Like, you sound great. And he's like, it's just been the most, epic week out here. My garden is thriving. I'm just selling all these wonderful vegetables. People are coming to my farm to see what I'm doing, to learn about growing in the valley. I've been to epic strategy meetings, and there's all this beautiful energy going into all these new ideas and movements for stopping the dam. And his optimism and happiness was extremely infectious, and it just cheered me up. And I realized, no, I'm not alone. We are all in this together. We're all here to stop the dam, and we will stop that dam. Because we don't have a choice. We have to stop that dam and save that valley. And there's so much beautiful energy going into it. And to be here with you all tonight, and I'm so excited to hear the poets and hear all this beautiful, positive, creative energy that we are all creating together that will fuel this movement and the ability to stop this dam. Because we have to stay positive, and it is positive. We can do this, and I hope tonight is a real example of how many people are willing to stop this dam. So just thank you so much for having me here and for everyone being here, because together we can stop this, and we will. And I think we all need a little poetry for the piece. So let's get to the good stuff. Thank you so much.